I don't remember my work very much, and I had an experience in Paris once where I was walking down the street and I looked in this gallery and I thought, oh, that's a nice painting. And when it was mine, just happened to be in a gallery there. But I did like it. Artist is a stupid term. You make art when you're a kid. You always make art. Some of us don't figure it out to quit. You know, just do it. But I've always considered what I do important. That may be a mistake. Who knows? But in a lot of ways, almost anyone who makes things is important to others. I've always enjoyed actually the social aspects of being an artist or whatever it's called. It's refreshed me in a way. I feel that I have some value, not because of what I do, but because I'm part of something. But I somehow fell in with a lot of artists. People like Marcel Duchamp and Max Ernst and those people who are more important than I am. But, I hung on the coattails a little bit. I think I was kind of a Duchamp's boy kind of thing. I was young and I adored him, and he liked that. And he was a great man. He was much more of an innovator than people think. He broke the rules, and not intentionally, that's the way he was. I remember Marcel Duchamp said that the artist doesn't do much. He is affected, made by his surrounding. And I love the fact that you are not yourself all the time. There's something coming at you, changing you. And all my life I've enjoyed that. I've lived all over, not all over the world. I never lived in Asia, but I've lived in Europe and different kinds of places in Europe. And it always changes you a bit. And I love that. I don't need to change other people and other things. I get changed a lot. And I think that's the important thing in being an artist. I think I've taken myself less seriously than others. People believing you, you know. I made this wonderful thing, and they say, oh yes, you made a wonderful thing. Anyhow, you do what you do, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But I've made a life of making things, and then I con people into like them. Such a privilege to be able to make art. No one knows really what it is. Humans make things because they're pathetic. The way babies make things. You know, we start as little morons and build up to semi-morons. What goes laughing? I've never had much difficulty in my life. Everyone can talk about something, you know, something that makes them more important because it was harder. I never had hardness. Nothing was difficult. Maybe I was myself difficult, but I never had hard times. Does that make me boring? I was born in the ghetto and raised in poverty. No, I was born in Washington, D.C. And you have to be something if you're born there. Because you can't be nothing. You got to be either a politician or something important. I didn't get either. People are always telling you what can and can't be, and they're wrong. Painting can be anything. It's the responsibility of the artist to make it anything. Lots of things. I learned a lot from teaching. It taught me more, probably, than I taught my students. But I enjoyed it. I learned from how students struggle to express themselves. And I never felt that was hard, but I like to watch other people do it. The ones that are struggling are the ones that don't know what they're doing. Sometimes they catch up and figure it out, but I think that the hardest thing is to get people students or anybody, to pay attention to themselves, and that be the major source. It's hard because students very often want to imitate somebody else, but the secret is to be yourself, and the other secret is it's very difficult to do, almost impossible. Painting's a privilege, as people allow you to do it and don't chase you out of the studio. But painting isn't as exotic as people think. It's just doing it, you know. It's like labor. That's a good painting to have in the discussion because it's so comprehensive. It has all of the little things, life, death, nastiness. It was meant to be a momentum mori. Momentum mori is a painting that artists do sometime during their lifetime. It means remembering death, that you're going to be croaked. I've always thought that, you know, I would like to make a painting that's just like reading, but I just see it in pieces like this one. It's easier to do it in pieces. But color changes everything. It can ruin, for instance, perspective. I used to like to do that. I used to like to do paintings and then put something in the background, like a yellow or red, so the person looking at it could not look at the foreground right away. Then they have to read a painting from the back to front. I never think about color, though. That's a good question, because I don't think about it, I just do it. A work of art has to be more than simple. A work of art should be complicated. And it should offer you things in different levels. Operas are always interesting because they're not real at all. You get all this stuff together, music and theatrics, and I think mostly in opera movement is important. It's not a still thing, it's moving around. But music is another form of art that's similar to what I think I do. And opera certainly is. I had a gallery that was interested in my work in Italy. And I went there it was this Roncaglia who had a gallery, and he said it was easier to import the artist than the work. because you had to pay all these duties and things. And I love Italy. I mean, Italians have no sense of reality, which is wonderful. And all of my friends have no sense of reality. I go there and they're so wonderful. But Italians, Italy is just a nation of artists because they're not very realistic. And they make the most wonderful things. And look what Giotto did. And Giotto probably was a simpleton. Philosophers look for some kind of reality. I like fantasy and joking too much for that. Oh, everything is fantasy in a way. Anything anyone makes up is fantasy. Always surprised. Always pleased by awakening. Always surprised about that at my age. You wake up, I think, oh boy, I got me another one, another day. I've been doing watercolors, and they're not giving me much. I like to have work give me back something, and these watercolors aren't doing much. Got to get back in my studio and maybe do some. I was thinking of doing some larger paintings. It's going to be hard, isn't it? Staying alive. What's next? But I don't know. I never know. And I like that. I've always liked it when I enter a studio and there's a blank canvas or blank something. I like that challenge of inventing something. Invention is the most important thing. But I can't define it for you. I've always thought, life really is, if you look at it closely, really funny. I would never do anything tragic, because that's too easy. Painting just demands something different from me. I don't even know what it is. It demands that you, for one thing, pay attention. And that when you pay attention, you see really interesting things.